I'm here with Mary Barbera, who I've known for a number of years. And Mary's got an amazing story that we're going to hear about. First, I want to tell you about her book, which this book comes Turn Autism Around. And this is Mary's world. She's been helping, well, I'll let her tell you exactly what she's been doing. But this book comes out, I've got a pre-release March 30th. It comes out. I just got my copy from Mary yesterday, but I saw the electronic version, a couple months ago or something like that. Enough so that I'm on the cover. I endorsed it. It's Mary's work, as you're about to hear, is truly amazing. So Mary, thanks for joining me. And you're just a few days away from, I know writing a book is a great big journey. So how does it feel to be just a few days away from releasing this?
It's very exciting. And I want to thank you for everything you've done to help me get this book into the world. It does truly feel like birthing a baby at this point, and I'm so excited to be able to get this book out there into the world. Yeah, it's been amazing, and it's been a lot of work. I wrote another book back in 2007. It was published, and that book is in over a dozen languages, and I've traveled the world speaking on autism. So I'm not a newcomer to writing a book or trying to promote it. But back in 2007, when I wrote my first book, there was no Google, Facebook, everybody. I didn't have an email list. I didn't even have a website when I wrote it, and I didn't even know the difference between a website and a platform. So now that I have a big platform, thanks to you and all the strategies you've taught me over the years. It's been a great. It's been in some ways easier, in some ways harder, but the message is going to just hit so many more people.
So can you just tell people, because this isn't our first interview, but there's a lot of people going to watch this that don't know you. So can you just talk about that mission?
Yeah, well, it all started in the late 1990s when my firstborn son, Lucas, started showing signs of autism. And I had two kids back to back, and my husband's a physician. So he said, when you bring Spencer, my younger son, to his 2-month-old well check, ask the doctor how many words Lucas should have. And so I did, and he said about 25 words. And so on the way home, I'm literally like just grasping at straws saying, okay, well, I heard him say E-I-E-I-O. There's 5 words, literally just grasping. I wasn't thinking autism at all. Didn't even enter my mind. So I got home and I told my husband that the doctor said he should have 25 words, and my husband said, well, he doesn't. And I go, oh yeah, I counted, he does. And so my husband said, so do you think maybe he has autism? And I can remember being in the room in my old house, in the family room, and saying, what? Never thought about it. And I told my husband on that day in 1998, I never, ever want to hear the word autism again. And I shut him down. And I didn't know what autism looked like in a toddler. I didn't know that there was really any really good treatment, which there was and there is. And so we lost a lot of time. And so Lucas was diagnosed with moderate to severe autism the day before he turned 3. And when I asked the doctor about all these improvements that I had just learned about, like, oh my gosh, I can really make a difference here. He said he wasn't that optimistic, because out of all the kids he's seen, that kids like Lucas with moderate severe autism, didn't catch up completely. And while he didn't say, if you would have brought him back when he was 21 months and he was younger and he was more mild, then we could have really seen some major, turnaround. So I felt a lot of guilt at that point, but I went on to, I knew nothing. I didn't know how to get him to talk more. I didn't know how to potty train him. I didn't know how to do anything. And then I was just like, all right, I have a master's degree in nursing administration. I will get on this. I will, even though I'm late and even though I felt extra guilty for being in denial for that long, I was just like going to roll up my sleeves and give it the good college try. And then I became a board certified behavior analyst. I authored my first book, The Verbal Behavior Approach. Um, I even then began traveling the world speaking about autism and developing my easy 4 steps approach to turn autism around. And I even thought, maybe I'll get a PhD. Maybe then people will listen. So I got a PhD over 5 years. And when I graduated my PhD in 2011, people were saying, well, what are you going to do now that you have your PhD? And I said, I'm going to figure out how to get myself online. And through finding you and your work, and I began launching to parents and professionals from all over the world starting in 2015. And so that's kind of my mission, is really to help parents and professionals help each child talk more, tantrum less frequently, eat, sleep, potty train, just everything they need to know about all the areas to help kids reach their fullest potential and be as safe as possible, as independent as possible, and as happy as possible. So turning autism around for a 21-month-old looks different than turning autism around for a 15-year-old with severe autism. And also, one of the things that really I learned over the years is that it really is hard to tell with a 21-month-old or 2 or 3-year-old if it is autism or just a speech delay or ADHD or sensory processing disorder. So 1 in every 6 children have some kind of developmental disorder. So this new book, Turn Autism Around, is meant for parents and professionals working with all kids to really help them talk more, tantrum less, and so really helping families, especially those families that are waiting and worrying like I was, or in denial, not knowing what to do. And the rate used to be 1 in 500 for autism when Lucas was diagnosed. Now it's 1 in 50. So the waiting lists, the treatment, you add COVID to the mix. Parents are really struggling.
Just in knowing you over these years, I feel like I know a lot more about autism than I did before. And one of the things I remember early on that I learned from you is that, yeah, if you catch it early, if you can diagnose it and treat it early, pre 2 years, I think, then you can make a real impact on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of my clients that I saw when they were young are now, I've been in this so many years, they're actually driving, going to college, and if it turns out that it's not autism, it doesn't even have to be diagnosed. My book is basically like, just read the book, follow the step-by-step instructions, and if you have severe gaps, just like anything, if a child's delayed with walking or delayed with talking, or if an older child is delayed or not reading as well as his peers, there are steps you can take to help catch it up. So turning autism around just means helping each child catch up in all areas and reduce problem behaviors at the same time, so that each child is happy and not, it's not such a struggle as it is right now for many families.
So your business is very much a mission-driven business. And what has that been like? So you got the PhD, and the flashing lights didn't go off, and all of a sudden your world didn't change that much. But now you've gone online, you've built a very significant, very, very significant business, very significant platform. And what has that been like building that a mission-driven business like that?
Yeah, I am really excited. What lights me up is hearing from families that are getting their kids to talk, or getting their kids to, go from 100 times banging their head to 0, without me ever seeing them. I never look at their videos. I never give them any direct feedback. This is the power of teaching online. And in the beginning, I didn't know if it was even going to work because I was so used to going into families' houses every single week or twice a month and making tweaks. But especially with the toddler and preschooler course, it is pretty easy, and it's not going to hurt anything, even if it's just a speech delay or you think your toddler is completely on track. These are really just good engagement techniques, good um, prevention of tantrums, getting kids to communicate. So, you know, I have been in your world and I've met some just incredible people from all kinds of industries, but I am a big believer in you can learn online. I learned to play the piano by taking an online course. I'm now learning how to improve my vision with an online course, and I know the power of learning online. And I took a marketing course when I was getting my graduate degree in nursing administration. I have a PhD in leadership. I've taken a lot of courses, but really learning your formula and learning the strategies. Um, I know that I can reach people from all over the world.
Can you, Mary, since it's sort of a full circle, I mean, recording here from, the secret headquarters, and that's sort of where, the idea, I think, can you
Yes.
tell that story?
Yeah, so I happened to win a competition that you ran in 2017. I won a competition, and part of the winning, I took my family on a cruise. 15 of us went on a cruise, but we also got to go I also got to go to Durango to the secret headquarters, not once, but twice in 2018 and 2019. And in 2019, when I arrived with a group of amazing people, um, I I wasn't thinking about writing a second book because now I knew the power of like online videos and all of that. And so we were actually at a break. We had about 12 or 14 people at the secret headquarters, and Irina Lee came over with a copy of your book in another language and said, "Jeff, what language is this in?" And you said, "Oh, I don't know." And I said, "That's funny because I have a stack of my verbal behavior approach book in different languages." And I said, "How many languages is your book in?" And you said 12 or 13. And I said, "That's funny. That's how many languages my book is in." And and I looked at you and I said, "Jeff, do you think I should write another book?" And you said, "Absolutely, yes." And from there, I actually, in the acknowledgments, I acknowledge you, who were a big part of this journey to get to this book. But I also acknowledge Irina Lee, who was great, and as well as Walt and Anne, and they all helped me. They were all there at the and Una Duncan, and they were all there at the mastermind, and they all helped me in their own unique ways to get to this book publishing. Because really, when I went there, I was not thinking about a second book, and now I know this is the book I needed when Lucas started showing signs of autism. This is the book I needed when he was 5 and not yet potty trained completely. This is the book I needed when he was 10 and still not sleeping in his own bed through the night. And I know this book is going to get into a lot of hands and change a lot of lives, and not just for kids with autism, also those kids with just delays. I think it's really going to be huge.
I'm so excited about it because, it's got all the work that you've been doing for all this last 8 or 9 years, and working with so many thousands of people now, all that wisdom built in, and you've got the platform to get this out now in such a big way. I think this book's going to be absolutely incredible. The impact that it's going to make is going to be incredible. And I'm thankful that I was able to play a small part in bringing it out. And yeah,
you played a very large part. Like, I can't even imagine if I wouldn't have found you and your work, and been involved, not just in reading your book, but going on to be involved in your world, and just the connections I've made. And, you know, I'm a much better presenter, a much better writer since I know how to really market now. And marketing is not slimy. It's really getting this message out to the world. I think I am really grateful that I found you, and you are a big part of helping me get the word out to millions eventually.
Mary, thanks so much. I'm so excited about this book. And you know, when I sit back and take the 50,000-foot view down on my life and my work, having, you know, been a part of your journey and helped you bring your journey out and help children literally turn autism around for some children. It's just, I count it as a blessing that I've been able to have that impact on you. So thank you.
And we have, for anybody listening, you can always search, if you're struggling with any issue, you can always search Mary Autism plus the issue you're struggling with. I have done video blogs every single week per my mentor here, and something will pop up. And then to get more information about the book, to order, to get all the bonuses, all the resources, all the assessment forms, everything for free at turnautismaround.com. So thank you so much for helping me spread the word. And I consider you a lifelong mentor, and you're not going to get rid of me. I'm going to be here forever. And I continue to learn every day, which is also exciting, so that I can learn to help more people.
Thank you, Mary, and congratulations. I'm just excited about seeing this book get out into so many hands.
Thank you, Jeff.